sort of. And I say sort of because occasionally we make little detours from the Legends timeline to do other books that I want to read. So, okay, I'm a fan, so today I'm going to fanboy you today, okay? Excited about the new Maul series? I am very excited for the new Maul series. Like, you have no idea. Like, I am so excited. Baby chickies! I'll have to show you guys my baby chicks. I got baby chicks right now. Oh, yes. Yes, I am super excited for the new Maul series. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at the is that a mushroom? What is that? Wakey mallow. Oh, it's a marshmallow. Well, a bit. Thank you. So yeah, the new Maul series, super excited. I love anything that's new Star Wars. Anytime there's anytime there's new Star Wars, I am like super into it. So yeah, I am like beyond excited for the new Maul series. Aww, Opus, you are being too sweet. Thank you. Oh, these are fun. I love it. So yeah, new Maul series, super excited. It's gonna be awesome. I'm always excited for new Star Wars anything. Feeling fanboyed? I am feeling fanboyed and I love it. And I was being like super depressed and like, that's so cute. I was being super depressed today. Like, I was like, is going live even worth it? So you made it totally worth it. You made my day. Oh, it's so cute. There's so many of them. Oh, thank you. Of course, that coffee one makes me want to drink more coffee now. I don't want to drink coffee. Like, I still have my Dunkin' from earlier today. Oh my gosh, Opus! Thank you so much! You are being so sweet! Oh my gosh, thank you. I wish I had something to give you. I don't know what I could give you. I can't really give things because it's virtual. Aw, thank you. Oh, finger hearts! It took me way too long to figure out how to make finger hearts. Like, that... I can't believe that I am that dumb, but it took me forever to figure out how to make finger, because I'm millennial, so I do heart. If you ask me to do heart, this is a heart. But, like, Gen Z does, like, finger hearts or something. Or hang on, to sing? No, is that right? I don't think that's right. They do this, or is it, like, it's that. Right? Yeehaw! Oh, thank you! Oh my gosh, I love it! And there's the heart. Ah, thank you, Opus. Oh my gosh, I am feeling so incredibly spoiled today. Oh, that's so cute. Oh my goodness, and a corgi? Holy cow! No, don't. No, why is it doing that? Oh my god, you little corgi butt. Oh, I love it. Thank you. All of my gallery? Oh my gosh. I didn't even know I had all these in my gallery. Well, I guess you're getting 4 chapters tonight. You totally deserve 4 chapters of Maul Lockdown just for that. Thank you. You are so sweet. Oh, Surfing Penguin. It says I'm supposed to shake my head for that one. I don't know what that means. Aw. Ooh, I like that one. This one's kind of fun. It's my entire gallery. Like I said, I don't even know what's in my gallery. Wow. 250 plus from 10K? What? I don't know what that means. I have no idea what that means. Ooh, I like that one. Oh, that's so pretty. Oh, yeah, I'm 250 away from 10,000. I get like probably like 1 or 2 followers a week. It's kind of it's kind of like a little dribble at the moment. But I haven't been making a lot of like Star Wars content, and I need to go back to Star Wars content. Oh, Sparkle Pony! I'm loving the names of all these. They're so cute. Opus, thank you. Wow, you must have had like a really good day. You were being so sweet. Yeah, I was feeling like super depressed and stressed out today because spring break is next week and I've really slammed at work and I've got schoolwork to do and I can't play Minecraft right now because my Minecraft friends are not on my Minecraft at the moment. Get dolls and recreate scenes. Get dolls? Where am I going to get dolls from? Besides, would anybody watch that? I don't feel like anybody would watch that. Like I have some stuff written. I have scripts written. I just need to like take the time to film. The biggest problem is that I don't feel like schmutzing my face up. That's the biggest thing. Like I don't care, like putting on the uniform is not a big deal. Um and all that. Aw, thank you, Opus. You were too sweet. Thank you for fanboying. I really But you guys definitely get 4 chapters for that now. That's you got 4 chapters out of me. If I thought I could stay awake longer, you definitely get more. Watch the high ground done with action figures. I should find the Bluey toys again. That Bluey toy video of like school pickup line, that was like kind of a popular video. I do it with Bluey figures. Or I should finish making the clothes for the Ash Williams doll that I knitted. I knitted a little doll that looks like Ash Williams. He just needs clothes. He's naked. I was gonna knit him clothes, but that was too much. So I want to sew him like an Ash out. So the blue shirt with the brown pants. And then I was gonna 3D print him a little chainsaw hand and a boomstick, obviously, because it's Ash Williams. So yeah, I should finish him and make little Evil Dead scenes. But I'd have to make like a Deadite, at least one Deadite. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I have scripts written to make more like Death Star IT videos and to make Fanboy liked you. Aw, thank you. And like GNN stuff. I have it, but I just well, the problem with GNN right now is I don't have anything to wear. My GNN dress is now hanging off me, and since that is a very form-fitting dress, it looks silly because it doesn't fit. I did just order some new dresses. I don't know if the ones that I ordered will really work for GNN. I mean, they're pretty dresses. Like that's not it. Like they're very nice. I suppose with a sweater it could work. But yeah, well, 2 of the dresses I just bought could work for GNN, I suppose. They kind of look like a news anchor's dress, sort of, kind of, not really, but you know, I can make it work. So yeah, I guess I could use those. There's one dress, I got it, just because it's hot. I'm gonna look freaking awesome in it. So, Kara turned out to be ISB. And then I bought one dress to wear to a Ren fair, sort of. I bought it so when I go to the Virginia Ren fair, which I think is next month, with one of my D&D buddies, I was gonna like dress up as my current D&D character. Okay, it's in late May. Well, then I probably can't go because May is booked. I have no more time left in May. May is done. I have no time left in May because May 2nd, I have a fundraiser. May 3rd, I have Virginia Symphony Orchestra with the 501st. The weekend after that, I am hoping that Mando Dad and I can go and celebrate our 13th wedding anniversary. How would I escape a headlock from a big dude? No weapons. Kick him in places that hurt? I mean, I don't know. So that second week of May, I'm hoping I can, do that. Let me see. Third week in May is, my niece's wedding. As well as dinner theater that our church puts on that Mini Mando's in. So that's all weekend. Because there's 3 showings, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So Friday night, I'm helping cook the dinner for dinner theater. And then Saturday, I am getting up at dark 30, driving up to Pennsylvania, and going to my niece's wedding in the afternoon. And then staying at my aunt and uncle's house Saturday night. And then, off topic. I don't see a Darth Vader poster on the store link. It's the Terry Huddleston link. That's the link for the Darth Vader poster. As well as my Fives poster. He's got 2. And he just made some new Star Wars ones. He might not have this exact one anymore. Cause this one is like 5 years old. Thank you for the follow. But I'll have to look. That's weird, because it should be there, because I just saw him. I might be able to go to that. If Ren Fair is on 5/9, I don't think I have anything specific on 5/9, so I might still be able to go to that. Anyway, third week is dinner theater. And then I'll get up very early in the morning on Sunday to then drive home to help with dinner theater again Sunday night. So it's gonna be nuts. And then, what was that? Oh, that was, never mind. And then the weekend after that is Memorial Day weekend, and I'm going to Atlanta for Mini Mando's first Nationals Taekwondo competition. And then the weekend after that, I'm going to Disney World. It's a lot. It's a lot. May is gonna be like absolutely insanity. And if I'm doing the Ren Fair too, oh my goodness gracious. Too many things. It's too many things. It is. All right, hang on. I'm gonna pull up the Terry Huddleston website while we wait. But yeah, I just saw him at GalaxyCon. And he was giving discounts to my friends because, yeah. He'll, like, if you're with me, he's got a Rurouni Kenshin print. Ooh, I should get that one too. It's still there. You just have to search for Vader on the Terry Huddleston site, and it'll get you this. It is actually this poster, so he still has this one. But yeah, usually if my friends come around with me to GalaxyCon, and Germ, if you're gonna order one, just let him know that Mando Mom I think there's like a comment box. I don't have like a discount code from him, because I just want to drive people to his art because I love his art, and he's really nice. He's super nice. I need to take Fives with me the next time I go to a con that he's at, because he hasn't signed my Fives. He did sign my Vader one though. But yeah, I love his artwork. I just got an Anakin poster from him that I still haven't hung up yet. But he's got a lot of artwork that I love, and he is super, super nice. His wife is super nice. And yeah. You can't tell which one is hanging behind you. So it's on his website. It's called the Darth Vader Icon Standard. So that's that one. And then on this side is fives. So I have the fives poster. It's behind my shelf. I need to like rearrange my background at some point. Germ. Strange is how I introduced you to Germ a few weeks ago. Oh! He was the guy at GalaxyCon. Was he the guy at GalaxyCon? Was that who that was? I'm going to assume that was him. Oh! Yeah, you know. Okay. When the Millennium Falcon landed on the Death Star, all the actors were hungover. Really? I mean, that's not shocking, but that makes sense. What did you think of the first episode of Saturday Night Live UK? I don't think I saw it. I don't think I saw the Saturday Night Live UK. I didn't see that. But that's cool. All right, Luna, are you done with your shower? Because then we can read. Because I'm reading 4 chapters tonight. Because Opus was like fanboying out and super, 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 super sweet. I mean, I don't know if that's true, but that sounds like something totally that would happen. I love Eric Idle. I know Opus left. I'm still gonna read 4 chapters though. Like, I will still do that. Also, what do you guys think of my new jammies? I got new jammies for you guys. I know, they're not like super... They're totally mom jammies. Raw, next question. I am concerned, but sure, go ahead. But I have moderators. It's true, it's an Eric Idle's book. That's awesome, actually. That's kind of funny that they were partying with Eric Idle. In May, I'll get to see Eric Idle. Sort of. In Journey into the Imagination with Figment. Which I am riding this time. When I went last year, I didn't get to ride Figment. There was not enough time. I rode Living with the Land instead. This time, totally riding Figment. Figment, I love Living with the Land, but I don't necessarily have Living in the Land time sometimes. Have I heard of Dungeon Crawler Carl? I have heard of Dungeon Crawler Carl. I have not had a chance to read it yet. And I mistakenly gave Dungeon Crawler Carl to Mini Mando, and apparently I should not have done that. It's okay, she hasn't read it yet, so I pulled it back off Kindle. You personally recommend the audiobook. Who reads the audiobook? Is anybody specific? I am... One of the things that will usually get me to read the audiobooks, which is how I read most books these days, is the narrator. Like Game of Thrones, I tried to listen to the audiobook and I absolutely hated the narrator. Well, I prefer the look and feel of books, but I don't have like the time to sit down and read a book. A lot of times I'll have an audiobook on when I'm driving or when I'm working. I just don't have the time to like sit and read. This is like the only time I get a chance to like physically read a book is on lives. That's it. But you guys didn't tell me. Do you like my jammies? It's got flamingos on it. Mando Dad was laughing at my flamingos, and I said, "It's flamingos. How could you laugh at flamingos?" I also got one with bunnies on it. And I bought like one of those like grandma nightgowns because like somebody on TikTok said you should totally buy one, and I did, and it's comfortable. Don't get me wrong, it's very comfortable, but at the same time, when I look in the mirror, it reminds me of my mom, and then I'm like, nope, I don't want to wear it anymore. Yeah, it's a granny gown, and I was like, oh, it's super comfy. Like, don't get me wrong, very comfortable, but no, it is not for me. I will pick like old lady super fun pattern pajamas. I mean, they're cute. I like them, and they're very soft and they're very comfortable, and now I have jammies, so yeah. I've been trying not to buy so much on Amazon, but I really have legitimately, I am finally buying clothes. I've been on a GLP-1 for over a year now, and my weight seems to have completely evened out. And I don't really need to go any lower. I'd like to do like 5 more pounds, but that's just so I could say that I lost 100 pounds. But in general, I'm at a very healthy weight. I'm good. And it's kind of like stabilized. It's not really fluctuating anymore. It's not going down. It's not going up. It's stayed at the same. So I'm now starting to finally buy some clothing, which is why I bought the dresses that I bought. Hi, Brandon! Yeah. I'll give you guys like a little fashion show when I get the dresses. It's the same company where I got the purple dress that I'm wearing to my niece's wedding that I'm modifying so that it's not all hoochified. The purple dress is nice. It's very pretty. But it makes it's very hot. Like I look damn good in it. But it's a little too hoochified for a wedding. I mean, my ex-brother-in-law is gonna be there. And I kind of want to wear it because my ex-brother-in-law is gonna be there. Not that I have any attraction to him. He's an ass. Oh, that's so nice, Brandon. I don't know why cheese was invented either. But like, I don't know. There's something about like just showing my ex-brother-in-law like how good our family is doing since he's not in it anymore. Like just, I don't know. It's cathartic. God, that man was an asshole. He broke my sister's heart, which is why, like, my sister and I, it's not that we don't get along, but, like, my sister and I don't know, we have a weird relationship. Some of it is just because she's so much older than me. I mean, so is my brother, but, like, my sister is kind of like an additional mom. So we have a weird relationship. I don't have, like, that close sisterly relationship because she's so much older. But I mean, I still love her. But even though we are not super close, my brother-in-law still broke her heart, and therefore he is mine enemy. He had an affair with my sister's best friend, and then told everybody in their tiny little town that my sister was mentally ill, and that's why he needed to seek comfort in the arms of her best friend. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. It was not. It was not great. It's not. Mm-mm. So she's better now. She fell in love again. Has a new husband. Oh yeah. There's way more to the story, but like that's the spark notes of it. And when my sister left because he had a freaking affair with her best friend, there was like he went around telling everybody that she just left. Like he's like, she just left me. Took the kids and left. Like, she just doesn't want to be around me anymore. She's the bad guy, not me. No, not me. Mm-mm. Without mentioning the part. And then, because it is a tiny little town, him and the best friend, his mistress, like, made, like, a whole elaborate, like, months-long thing after the separation started to be like, oh, the mistress is comforting me after my wife just left me. Meanwhile, they've been together for like 3 years prior to my sister finding out. And yeah, they made it like over 6 months after my sister left. Like she was comforting him, and then they started to get close, and then they started dating, and now they're freaking married. And but then there's rumors like from my nieces that he's having another affair. So I don't know. My sister's ex-husband is just awful. Oh, am I gonna see you on Sunday? Are you coming on Sunday? I'm assuming you're coming on Sunday. I hope you're coming on Sunday. I'm surprised you haven't heard about this. Like, it was a whole thing, like, 10 years ago. But are you coming on Sunday? Yay! Ooh, you're bringing banana bread. I haven't decided. I'm making pineapple stuffing. That's what I'm bringing. And then your mom is going to help me with the IEP for Tiny Mando. Because despite everything, and all the extra support we're giving her at home, she is still behind. Which is like super... It's not frustrating. Frustrating is not the right word. I am scared that she is not going to... Like, we're in first grade and she's behind. So... Arson, I will let you get away with one comment. But my moderators will block you for stuff like that. Don't make it gross. Don't be weird. We can flirt a little bit, but like, don't make it gross. You do not agree with Omni? Zucchini bread is the bomb. I like zucchini bread if it's got chocolate. Chocolate zucchini bread is really good. But I'm not a huge fan of any other kind of zucchini bread. All right. We shall read. The face you just made? Send me a picture of the face. We are on chapter 32. Yeah. We're trucking along in this book. Just remember, after we finish this book, the next book is going to be Queen's Peril, I think. Hang on. So whoever had this book before me was apparently living in Detroit and needed a personal protection order. I just found that in the back of my book. Okay. Did you know that the guy who wrote this book and Death Troopers also wrote Red Harvest, which is not shocking at all? Does this one not have the legend? Oh, it does have the Legends timeline. Okay. Yeah, so the next book would be The Phantom Menace, but the next book that we're going to read before we read The Phantom Menace is The Queen's Peril, because yes, technically those are not part of the Legends timeline, but I think they will be really good additions into what we're reading, just to get more background of like Padme and sort of the underhanded things that Palpatine did during that. And who knew that blockades could be so effective? Again, I said I wanted to live in Star Wars. I didn't mean this. Oh, King, by the way, question. So do you want to be on the call list? Are you part of the phone tree? Can you be part of my phone tree? And I'm part of your phone tree? For the day? That day? When that day happens? Can we be on the phone, each other's phone trees? Whoever finds out first, we call the other person to let them know that it is the day. That day? You know the day. Everybody knows the day. That day. What is a phone tree? Oh, goodness gracious, child. I forgot that you're young. You know, if you find out the news that it happened, you know, that thing, the day, when it happens. Are you not on that side of TikTok? When it happens. You know, when the Empire has fallen, when Palpatine, that, you know, yes, that, what Omni said, you know, that day. If you're on TikTok and you see a video that says, what are we wearing on that day? Or what are you doing when it happens? You know, ding dong, the witch is dead. Wickled witch, the wicked witch. Ding dong, the wicked witch is dead. That one, that day. When that day happens, do you want to be on my phone call list where, you know, if I find out before you find out, that I call you and tell you the great news? Yes! You're catching on. You're a little slow. I know you're smarter than this. Yes! Oh, yes! There we go. The realization. I have a deal with some of my other cousins. Obviously, yeah. No. Yes. All right, cool. I have like a list of people that like I am already going to call. Or I am like, I know to be excited when I see the phone call from those people to be like, it's happening, it happened. Go down the phone book. That's what a phone. So back in the day, before texting was a thing, and phones hung on the wall, um, a phone tree was where, like, if there's a snow day, you would call one person. There would be one person at the top who would get the phone call from the school, and they would call one person, and then they would call two people, and then the person that they called would then call two people, and then call two people, and call two people, and call two people, and then finally everybody would be aware that there was a snow day. That's what a phone tree is. Did I watch the original Return of the Jedi? Of course I watched the original Return of the Jedi. Are you kidding me? So, anyway, I'll make sure on the call list, but if you find out before yeah. So, if you find out before I find out, then you call me, but then if I find out before you find out, then I call you. Yes. Also, I'm thinking on the day I'm going to wear my prom dress because it's the only ball gown that I own, because I feel like that day requires a ball gown and a tiara. It happened, end call. Exactly. Because then I have other people that I have to call. Yeah, it happened. Exactly. That's all I need. And then when I call my other cousin in Kansas, I am going to have the not Yub Nub, not that one. Oh, thank you. Not Yub Nub, the other one from the remastered version. I'm gonna play that. When they're playing all the fireworks in Naboo, I'm gonna play that song at an obscenely loud volume, and I'm just gonna call my cousin and hold my phone to the speaker, and they will know, and then click. Oh, thank you for the kitty. Aw, yeah. Okay, chapter 32. Stop getting distracted. Whiteout. Maul awoke to blinding lights, a blazing firestorm of incandescence that seared his eyes, obscuring whatever stood just behind him. He tried to move and discovered that he couldn't. His arms and legs were lashed and stretched spread eagle, and he hung suspended in midair above. What? It was impossible to say. No. GNN reports. Palpatine has been found dead. What had they shot him with? Some kind of stun weapon? Powerful enough to knock him completely unconscious. Whoever was responsible was clearly prepared to evade the surveillance cameras as well. It would explain the painfully intense lights, bright enough to mask whatever they were planning on doing to him. At length, he heard a sound coming from off to his left. Someone laboring to breathe, incoherent words, croaking noises, the rasping harshness of respiratory distress. Maul was listening to it, trying to process the details of his circumstances, when he picked up the creak of approaching footsteps. "Where's the old man?" a voice asked. "In the corner," a second, more familiar voice answered. "Next to the bailer." "Has he said anything significant?" "He's delirious." The familiar voice was calm but not dispassionate, colored with an overtone of what might actually have been sympathy. "He contracted blood poisoning after he lost his leg. The infection's already spreading to his brain." From directly in front of him, the one who had spoken most recently leaned in close enough that Maul could make out just his features. "Hello, Jagannath." Maul squinted up at the face of the Twi'lek above him. "Zero?" I'm hoping it happens on live television. That's the only way people will believe it. Live TV. I mean, I'm not hoping that it happens on live television because that's awful. But like that's awful. Like, I don't wish that on someone, I guess. I'd like to think that I'm still a kind human being, and so like I don't wish that on someone. I'm hoping it's peacefully in his sleep. Like, that would be the kind way. But like, other half of me is like, on TV so that people believe it. You know? No, they'd never admit it. They would never admit it. Zero gazed at him. You've caused quite a stir around here, he said. You really shouldn't have killed Rook. Mr. Radique was paying handsomely to keep him safe from being matched. So you do know him. Sending the Nelvanian to hack into the algorithm was your first mistake. The Twi'lek's expression was slightly puzzled now, as it couldn't quite figure out what had driven Maul to such a misstep. There have already been repercussions, you realize. Severe repercussions. Reaching down, he hoisted a limp corpse and lifted it close enough that Maul could see it. It was Ismash. The Nelvanian's broken jaw hung slack on its hinges. His mouth and eye sockets were stuffed with scraps of broken circuit board and twisted wire. A message for whoever found the body. There was a faint, throat-clearing noise, somewhat off to the left. Maul jerked his head up, struggling to pull himself free from the thick web of cables that lashed his arms and legs to walls that he couldn't see. Is he here with you? Maul asked. Is Radique here? Zero ignored the question. Ooh! Oh, I think I figured out who Radique is. I bet it's Plagueis. Now that I think about it, I bet it's Plagueis. Because they just said he's wearing a respirator. And he can't breathe. And by this point in the Legends timeline, Plagueis would have had, like, the predecessor to Vader's breather. Because remember, he was attacked, what was it, by Black Sun? And so he had to have, like, he basically created the predecessor to Vader's mask. Yeah. So, willing to bet Radique is actually Plagueis. Yep. Zero ignored the question. The guards and inmates will find your body next to the Nelvanians, he said with the same puzzled empathy. They'll know what happened. Such warning signs must be sent from time to time. It is his will. Leaning in close enough that he could lower his voice, he spoke almost apologetically. No one threatens Mr. Radique, Jagannath. You understand, don't you? It's just business. I have business with him, Maul said. Tell Radique. Goodbye, Jagannath, the other voice said. It was the first time that Maul had heard it. It's a pity you have to end your time in Cog Hive 7 as a cautionary tale. You were an intriguing specimen while you lasted. Wait. Maul lifted his head again and caught sight of the figure next to Zero. It was a Weequay, one he'd never seen before. Or had he? The craggy, sun-baked face was raked back in speculative frown. Oh, no, it's not. I don't think it is Plagueis now. His high forehead crowned with a topknot, and Maul remembered the inmate that he'd seen on his first day here. The clawbird was perched on his shoulder. Repercussions, Jagannath. Without another word, the Weequay glanced at Zero, and the two of them turned and left the room. There was a jolting, mechanized clamor of heavy machinery being throttled reluctantly to life. Force feedback servos chugged and became a steady pulsating drone. Maul thought of the factory floor. Before he could comprehend what that meant exactly, he felt the cables around his wrists and ankles beginning to draw tight, pulling him in 4 different directions. Oh! Ooh! As suddenly as they had appeared, the blinding lights went out, burying him in utter darkness. Maul jerked and yanked at his restraints, but the cables around his arms and legs only pulled tighter, stretching the sockets of his shoulders, cranking tension into his hips and knees. He fought to pull himself free, but the restraints held fast. Something popped in his right wrist. Every joint began to burn. They were going to rip him to pieces. From above, he heard the hum of machinery. He heard a brisk flapping of wings. In the darkness, the wheezing noises began again. Labored words. Going to kill us both, a voice rasped. Now Maul recognized the voice. The old man was in here with him. Egan's father, the one who'd lost his leg to Voistock's blaster. He searched his memory for the old man's name, and it came to him almost at once. Artagan? Never should have saved his life, the old man's voice said. Should have stayed with the Bando Gora. Too late now, I suppose. Twisting his entire body as far as the cables would allow, Maul turned his head in the direction of the old man's voice. By now, the tension in his Dees had transcended pain, catapulting him into an entirely new realm of consciousness. Although he thought, almost instinctively, of using the force, of calling upon strength and ability whose magnitude could almost certainly save him from death, surely such things had been placed at his disposal for a reason, a larger purpose, hadn't they? From the hinterlands of conscious thought, he heard his master's voice ringing out in his mind. There are aspects of who we are, Sidious had once told him, that can be revealed to us in the deepest pit of intolerable suffering. In those moments when all else is torn away, when we stand at the very brink of eternity itself and stare death in the face. Maul didn't breathe. Sweat poured from his face, still facing Artagan. He managed to catch the old man's eye. What did you say? Oh, might be because I don't know. Bando Gora, Artagan muttered. All hail the skull. You were in the Bando Gora? We're going to kill Radik. Somewhere in the darkness, the old man mumbled. Something else, an incoherent slur of consonants. Then he became lucid again. I betrayed them, saved Radik from them. They've been hunting me down. Ever since. For a moment, Maul didn't speak. Beneath the pain and the rattling of the machine that was about to rip him to pieces, a new revelation had already begun taking shape in his mind. That's why you brought your son here to Coghive 7. The old man grunted in assent. Radik swore he'd protect me. Maul felt himself measuring what the old man said against whatever he knew to be true. The realization, a piece of the puzzle abruptly snapping into place, brought a sudden upsurge of determination. Summoning all that remained of his strength, he wrenched his right arm as hard as he could away from the cable, dislocating his shoulder from its socket with an audible pop. A loopy, oversized, elasticized numbness spilled through the joint on a wave of pins and needles, threatening to render his entire arm useless. But the move brought just enough slack to the cables so that the binding slipped free around his right wrist. Jerking his arm loose, he reached across with a hand that was already rapidly going numb. Fumbling with his left wrist, it seemed to take forever, but at last the left hand came free as well. Only after he'd gotten his ankles loose did he slam his upper torso against the floor, knocking the right shoulder back into place. Ow. There. He rose and crossed the room, his eyes fully acclimated to the darkness now. This was the factory floor as he'd expected. The bulky machinery, Coil's bone sculptures hulking in the background like an inevitable reminder of where they were all destined to end up. If Zero had brought him here, along with the Weequay... The Weequay, he said aloud. A half-dozen steps later, he'd reached the spot where the old man lay on the floor, hideously diminished by his wounds, burning with fever. Maul could feel the heat radiating up from him like a blast furnace and could smell the sickness on him. That one that was here with Radik. Or with Zero. That's him, isn't it? That's Iram Radik? A foggy groan that might have been acknowledgement came from the old man. Radik, he managed. I need to find him. What was his connection to the Gora? Can't tell you. Why not? Only tell Egan. Maul reached down and lifted Artagan Truax up, hoisting him over his shoulder. You doing? The old man asked. Where are you taking me? Out of here, Maul said. We've got things to discuss. Chapter 33. Reconfig. Warden, 3D said, they're ready for you. Finishing her coffee, Coffee? Coffee? It's calf. It's not coffee. Siddiqui rose from behind her desk and directed her attention to the bank of holoscreens overhead. The monitor on the far right displayed the guard's ready room, where a group of Coghive 7's off-duty COs, 9 in all, were gathered around a long table. Some of the men stood silently or leaned against the wall. Others sat upright, nursing tumblers of Rancor Aid. Rancor Aid. Hello, Belle! Rancor Aid? It's called Rancor Aid? That's different. Sorry, I'm trying to find like a more comfortable spot, but can't quite find a comfortable way to sit. I know, I'll do the Bo-Katan sit. There we go. Doesn't quite work in my computer chair. It's not as comfortable in like a couch. The monitor on the far right displayed the guard's ready room, where a group of Cog Hive 7's off-duty COs, 9 in all, were gathered around a large table. Some of the men stood silently or leaned against the wall. Others sat upright nursing tumblers of Rancor Aid, casting anxious glances at the hatchway. Even out of uniform, the men had a visible tension that seemed to radiate from them in waves. Warden? The droid prompted. I heard you, Siddiqui said distractedly, not taking her eyes from the screen. She called the meeting 2 hours earlier, switching out the second shift duty roster at the last minute to ensure adequate coverage throughout the gallery and the cells. Do me a favor and raise the temperature in there by 5 degrees. May I ask why? I'd like to see them sweat a bit. She turned back to the droid. Have you reached my brother yet? Master Blur is not in his quarters, nor is he in the data center, 3D answered. In all honesty, I have no idea where he might have gone. Keep trying, she glanced at the chrono. We're only 2 hours away from the next match. I'd like his input on the combatants. Combatants? 3D swiveled around to face her. Respectfully, Warden, we're not specifically ordered by Gaming Commissioner Chloris to suspend all bouts, pending... Dakarai's algorithm has already made its selection, Siddiqui cut in. And the last time I checked, current betting activity for this next batch was already in the millions of credits. Apparently, the galaxy's casinos and high-stakes gamblers have already forgiven us for what happened. But the Gaming Commission... They can find me. Siddiqui raised her coffee cup and drained it. As Dragomir himself said, I've got more important things to worry about. An errant realization occurred to her, and she smiled. And so does he, I think. They could shut us down completely. I doubt that very much, a voice said from behind her, and Siddiqui turned to see Vesto Slifer striding into her office. Now, if you remember, Slifer is working for Plagueis. Just so you guys remember that. Slifer, she said, not bothering to hide her surprise. How did you get in here? As you know, the IBC enjoys yellow card access to the security codes within most of its subsidiaries, the Mune said mildly, raising an eyebrow. Surely that's not a point of contention. Not at all. I just assumed you were leaving us, she put on a smile. I'm pleased to see you've changed your mind. Slifer pursed his lips with distaste. If it were up to me, I would have left already, but my employer has asked me to stay on for a day or two while we get these complications with the Gaming Commission sorted out. I appreciate the concern. Believe me, Slifer said, it's not my idea. I don't... This is too uncomfortable. There. Believe me, Slifer said, it's not my idea. I don't understand it myself, and I'd hardly choose to remain in this cesspool a moment longer than necessary. The Mune nodded at her desk. But you seem to have gotten Commissioner Clorin into quite an uproar. The IBC is simply protecting their investment in Cog Hive 7. Of course. Siddiqui looked across at the bank of holoscreens, taking in the full sweep of Cog Hive 7, a view that she never found boring. The mess hall, the metal shop, the factory floor, all components of some infinite sociological experiment in galactic natural selection. Although she hadn't ventured down among the inmates themselves since the prison had opened, she recognized almost all their faces, and in some cases... some cases knew their daily routines better than they themselves did. Now, she said, if you'll excuse me, I've got a meeting with the guards. So I see. Slifer looked at the screen where he could see the guards loitering in the ready room. Staffing problems? Simple housekeeping issues, really. Siddiqui tapped a command into the keypad on her desk, initiating remote access to the prison's data center. Glancing over her shoulder, Slifer watched the monitors as the digitized three-dimensional ray tracing of Cog Hive 7 took shape. Complex arrays of intersecting green and red lines rearranging themselves outside the officer's ready room. Seconds later, there was a distant lurching groan from beyond the walls of her office. You're reconfiguring the prison now? The Mune asked. But the bout isn't scheduled to start for 2 hours. Simply changing some details around, Siddiqui said. It's one of the benefits of our station's modular structure. There's really nothing that can't be rearranged. I see. I'm going down to the ready room. She turned to the droid. Keep an eye out for my brother. Of course, 3D chirped. On second thought, she paused to consider. Perhaps you'd better join me after all, just to be safe. As you prefer. Without another glance at the screens or the Mune, Siddiqui left the office and went down to meet the men. Everybody still awake? Play button app, purple app, you guys still awake? Should I keep going? I still owe you 2 more chapters, so. Yahoo! Yep. Chapter 34. Hooligans. When the back panel of his cell slid open, Vas Nailhead assumed that he was dreaming. Unlike most of the inmates here, Nailhead spent a good time of his time alone in his cell. After a lifetime in various prisons around the galaxy, he had no real interest in mingling with the rest of the inmates. As purported head of the Bone Kings, he still continued his reign of terror. But with the Zabrak Jagannath in charge of both gangs now, Nailhead's title had become largely symbolic. Nothing excited him anymore. He still ate flesh, but he didn't enjoy it like he used to. These days he spent most of his day brooding over fan mail and endorsement offers or lapsing in and out of shallow, unsatisfying sleep. More and more he found himself thinking of his home planet, his family, the offspring he'd left behind. His fellow Bone Kings still swore an oath of loyalty to him, but secretly Nailhead wished that the algorithm would pit him against one of them just to change things up. He dreamed of leaving here, but like every inmate, he knew the only way out of here was through the floorboards. He dreamed... Ooh, sorry, puzzle piece. There we go. He dreamed of the worm. This time, when the prison had started shifting around him with the familiar rumble and clang of reconfiguration, Nailhead simply assumed that he'd drowned through the clarion call and that the next fight was about to begin. It had happened from time to time. He lifted his head and glanced around, wondering, not quite idly, if he might be selected for a match, perhaps against Jagannath himself in a battle that, if Nailhead won, might restore some of the excitement and glory to his life. But as consciousness cycled back to him, he realized the door of his cell was still open, and there was none of the usual clamor of inmates returning to lockdown. So what was happening? That was when the panel slid open behind him. Nailhead, a voice said. Vast Nailhead stared at the Nogiri, stepping into his cell. It was Strabo, his sworn enemy, who until very recently had been head of the Gravity Massive. Yet here he was, standing in front of Nailhead, with a glint of bemused disbelief, as if Strabo himself couldn't quite believe he'd come here. What's this about? Nailhead growled. Strabo said nothing, and then Nailhead saw them, the other inmates gathered behind the Nogiri, a ragtag mixture of Bone Kings and Gravity Massive members standing side by side. The Massives were armed with their cable darts and melee weapons. The Kings were all carrying bones, sharpened and studded with metal tips and scraps, specially modifications that they'd added. Somebody let us out, Strabo said. What is the goal of this kind of stream? We read books. We read Star Wars books, I should say. So, I do this every couple of days or every other day. I do it 3 times a week. We're working along the Legends timeline. So hang on. Let me finish this chapter and then I will tell you all about it. There's like 5 paragraphs left. It's just 2 pages. So one sec. Just hold and I will explain everything. What? Reconfigured ourselves. Opened up a back passageway for us. Why? Who knows? Strabo shrugged. All I know is things used to be different around here. Maybe not great, but at least they made sense. You know what I mean. Before that red-skinned freak came in and changed everything. Uh-huh. Nailhead found himself nodding. Back when we were in charge, he ruminated and glanced up at Strabo. So you think? Maybe this individual, whoever it is, opened the walls for us. Maybe because they want a certain situation taken care of. You got a plan? I got a weapon. Strabo nodded at the open hatchway from which he and the others had just emerged. What if we follow the passageway, see where it takes us? Yeah? There's worse ways to spend a few hours, Strabo said, and reaching out, he tossed a sharpened femur bone to Nailhead. who plucked it handily from the air, though he still had no idea what was going on. So what do you say? Care for a walkabout? Yeah. Standing up and placing his hands on his hips and stretching his back, Nailhead grinned back at him. I guess maybe I do. Side by side, the two gang leaders headed back through the hatchway, with the others following behind them into the walls of the prison. Okay, so what I do 3-ish times a week, unless I get sick or accidentally fall asleep, which happens sometimes. I read Star Wars books on the internet. That's what I do. So we've been going through the Legends timeline. Every once in a while, we take kind of a brief, I don't know, side quest to non-Legends timeline Star Wars books, because it's my stream and I can do what I want. No, it didn't sound sarcastic. I get it. Like I said, we start with the Legends timeline. We did Darth Plagueis, and then we did, they're behind me. Cloak of Deception, which is the most boring Star Wars book ever written. Maybe, if Jaden likes what I do and Yankee likes what I do. So you're shopping for a good life. So if you like Star Wars books, this is definitely the live for you. I read 2 to 4 chapters a night. Usually it's, so it's 2 chapters every night. And then if I hit my live goal, I do 4 chapters instead. Thank you for the follow, Captain Crunch. But like I said, we talk Star Wars, we talk things that are going on in my life, but, we read the Star Wars books. Like I said, Legends timeline for the most part. Again, we take little detours because I find new Star Wars books that I find more interesting. So like the detours that we did Rise of the Red Blade, which is a newer book. It's not part of the Legends timeline. But it was a new book that came out in 2024, 2025. I don't remember when I bought it. I think it was 2024. That's basically a Padawan who goes from Padawan to Inquisitor, and like how that all happens. It basically starts at the Battle of Geonosis and goes to the Rise of the Empire. And then the other one where we took a detour was The Living Force. It's by my Dilbert thing, so I don't want to grab it. The Living Force, which was basically the Jedi Council goes on vacation, sort of. And it that was a kind of fun book. It takes place before, kind of like right before the Phantom Menace. It's because I met the author. He signed my book. He was really excited to tell me about it, and it was that book was kind of fun because we got to get really kind of up close and personal with the Jedi Council, like that was part of the Phantom Menace, and really get to know their personalities in ways that we didn't get to see in things like the Clone Wars. Like, we learned that Oppo Rancisis doesn't have feet. He has a tail, and he slithers along the ground like a Naga. Yeah, and he's old, like super old, like 2 centuries old. Not as old as Yoda, but like old. Which was kind of a neat thing. We learned that the Quirmian, he's got the really long neck and the bulbous head. His name is escaping me at the moment. Apparently, he was super, super good at Jedi mind tricking people, and would like Jedi mind trick people just because he wanted to. And apparently he liked playing pranks on some of the other members of the... No. He's a Quirmian, not a Kaminoan. Quirmian. Begins with a Q. But he has the long skinny neck with the bulbous head. I don't remember his name off the top of my head. And we got Master Windu. We learned that the Deepa Billaba, who was Caleb Dune, aka Kanan Jarrus's Jedi Master when he was a Padawan, was apparently Mace Windu's Padawan. From that book. So I mean, it was very cool. Like that was a really fun book. I really enjoyed that one. But yeah. So where we're at in the Legends timeline is now Maul Lockdown. So it goes Plagueis, Cloak of Deception, Maul Shadow Hunter, Maul Lockdown, and then the Phantom Menace for the Legends timeline. Which we're gonna keep going after the Phantom Menace, but that's just where we're at. The next book I read after I finish Mall Lockdown is going to be Queen's Peril, which takes place right before the Phantom Menace into the Phantom Menace. It's one of the Padme books that they came out with a couple years ago. So Z-Mace? I don't know what we're talking about. And the other thing we do is during October, I read Death Troopers, which is zombie Star Wars. It's just fun. I don't know what you're talking about, Omni. So, yeah. We're just we read Star Wars books for fun. It gets me to read books, for one, and you guys seem to like it, and I also cosplay Star Wars characters. Queen's Gambit? What's wrong? No, the next one is Queen's Peril. Not Queen's Gambit. It's Queen's Peril. Pretty sure. Like 99% sure now. Like 90% sure. Yeah. Queen's Peril is the first one. Queen's Gambit is the second one. I think. And then Queen's End or something is the third one. I'm not sure. So yeah. I read Star Wars books on the internet. That's what I do. And we talk Star Wars and whatever's on my mind because I have ADHD and I do what I want because it's my stream. I get easily distracted. Yeah. I am easily distracted. And then I also occasionally I will live stream, typically not on the Clock app. I will not stream when I'm gaming. So if you want to see me play Minecraft or Phasmophobia, which I might not be on live tomorrow. Maybe, I don't know. Because tomorrow we might be playing Phasmophobia. So I will be live streaming, I just might not be reading. We'll see. I don't know when we're gonna start playing, and I don't know when we're gonna stop playing, so if you want to watch me play games, those are gonna be on either the Play Button app or the Purple app, LINK in the BIO, if you want to find me on those other places. I'll be honest with that one. But yeah. So that's where you can usually catch me for the gaming. Like I said, tomorrow we're probably going to play Phasmophobia, which is always a treat to watch me play Phasmophobia because I am a big giant fraidy cat. I get very scared while playing Phasmophobia. I love it, but I'm also terrified. So yeah. I'm also a 3D printer, and like I said, oh, thank you, Jaden. I also 3D print, I craft, I sew, I cosplay. Look, I have ADHD and I do a lot of things. I have a lot of projects. I garden, I have chickens, and now ducks, because I rescued some ducks from Tractor Supply. So now I have ducks too. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the ducks. I guess I have to put in a pond now. Anybody want to come dig a pond in my backyard for me? So, yep. What is the next project to pick up? Right now it's gardening season, so I'm trying to like make a video on my stories every day of like the garden and what we're doing. Carrie Fisher, I believe, had bipolar disorder, but don't quote me on that. Oh, that means Carrie Fisher and I share something in common. If that's true. But yeah, I talk all sorts of stuff. I have ADHD and I'm random, so yeah. Oh, thank you for the follow. So if you're interested in that, definitely follow along. It'll be fun. Yeah. I have some original characters, Star Wars characters that I do. I have not done them recently. I need to get back into making that content. It's just difficult. The biggest issue for me is those characters is oh, I should make a droid and call it ADHD. You just named my droid. Well, I already have Phineas, but F13 3A5. Now I'm gonna have to. Now I'm 100. Oh, thank you for the follow, Jaden. Now I'm gonna definitely have to make a droid and call it ADHD. See, tangent. Yeah, I have some original characters. I do the lead help desk technician on the Death Star, as well as a Star Wars news anchor, Kara Lanix of GNN. I do a whole thing with that. The biggest problem for me for doing those characters, though, is I have to schmutz up my entire face of makeup, and I really hate doing that. What is the thing you think you are good at the most? Peopling. I'm like a big giant golden retriever, so I'm really good at peopling. I'm great with people. I like to say that I'm not good with people, but I am actually really good with people because I'm a big giant golden retriever. I don't know, probably just caring for people. That's probably my biggest strength. And problem solving is probably my second greatest strength. Like, stick a problem in front of me and I will try and fix it. Aw, thank you, Chaz. I'm promoted? How am I promoted? So, yeah, problem solving. That's probably my second greatest skill. Like at a job interview, I'll say problem solving. Because that's my ADHD superpower is problem solving and efficient-sizing. Kara is not ISB. She doesn't even work for the Empire. She's not the official Empire. She's the GNN news reporter. She's not the official Imperial press secretary. Maybe I should make her the official Imperial press secretary. That would be funny. But like I said, I have to get a new dress for Kara. Because the one that I have is now too big. And it just doesn't look right. It hangs weird. Because it's supposed to be a very form-fitting dress. So. Oh, and you asked the other next project that I gotta work on is the wedding that I have in May. What is in the background? Oh, lots of stuff. Let's see. We have my Fives poster over here, and we have my Vader poster over here. And then in between, although you can't see it, is another Darth Vader poster that says The Empire Needs You. And then I have my shelf of books. So like I've got some of my other Star Wars books up top. I have my Lego Orchid that Mando Dad got for me. I have my Dilbert statue that I've had forever. More Star Wars books. Stay. I have some of my Disney souvenirs on this shelf, including these, which I'm very proud of. And I lost my ears. I have too much stuff. I need to, like, clean up back here. I've decided to start storing my ears here. I'm also a Disney adult, by the way. So I'm very proud of these. These are my Muppet 3D vision glasses. My stuffed Nala that I got when I was 6. And this. And then there's just like mail and cables on the bottom of my shelf. But this I'm very proud of. Yes, I am very easy to distract. Again, there is no I don't take ADHD medicine at nighttime, so it's all worn off by now. There are no spoons. And this is my clone popcorn bucket, because I love clones. Anyway. You're just gonna, no, then how do I focus to read? I don't look at my screen. If I don't look at my screen while I'm trying to read, it's fine. Yeah. We have one more chapter to read, so I will read this next chapter. But yes, I am very easy to distract. Not my superpower. Chapter 35. Ready Room. The fat CEO's name was Seriously? I wonder if he's related to Portkins. The fat CEO's name was Hootkins. Hootkins. And Smite could also already smell him starting to sweat. Well, he asked, what's the deal? Hootkins didn't say anything, but slammed the half-liter of tumbler of Rancor aid that he'd been nursing and pressed out one meaty hand to the wall behind him. Smite felt himself twitching with impatience. It was getting unpleasantly hot in the ready room among all these bodies pressed in around him. And what had the warden summoned them all here together for anyway? He waited, bouncing on his heels. As Hootkins glanced at the guard standing to his right, a pumped-up glandular catastrophe named Logovic, Smite knew almost all the names of the guys on his shift, Stubbins, Merrill, Glant, and he was still learning the rest of the roster. Not that it mattered much. None of these old-timers would give him the time of day. Not yet. When the warden had summoned them all to the ready room on short notice, no uniforms or weapons necessary, Smite had snorted another half-gram of glitter stim from his private stash before hitting the deck. Ooh, he's on glitter stims. He'd already discovered that the stim gave him confidence, and a telepathic boost that made everything feel heightened, and somehow more vibrant at the same time, as if, zing, an invisible saber had been drawn from its scabbard straight up his nose. Okay. Not to mention the courage that it gave him for a certain unauthorized aspects of the job, going face to face with the red-skinned inmate 11240, in his cell, for example, or the mission they'd just undertaken down on the factory floor. It had made him feel like the king of the galaxy. Ooh, so Smite was the one who captured them all. The truth was, Smite loved the spice. Smuggling his stash into Coghive 7 had been a lot easier than he'd expected, and he'd even managed to sell a little to a couple of the other COs. Making friends had always come easy to him that way. Too bad he hadn't had a chance to offer some to Hootkins. Who knew, he thought, maybe the porky loser could use some as a diet aid. So, Smite asked, drumming his fingers against the table in front of him, what's the problem? One of the side effects of the stim was that it made you restless, ready to move ahead while everything else dragged behind. You guys don't actually think. Shut up, Hootkins snapped without bothering to glance at him. Now the fat man had one ear pressed to the wall of the ready room. Listening for a long moment, he turned back to Logovic. Yeah, he said. It's on. It's not big, but it's happening. What's on? Smite asked. What's happening? Warden's reconfiguring. What now? Smite checked his chrono. We don't have another fight scheduled till... The main hatchway of the ready room whirred open, and Warden Blur stepped inside, followed in short order by her administrative droid. She stopped there and looked coolly across their faces and smiled. Good afternoon, gentlemen. I want to thank you all for coming on such short notice. The guard straightened up. Logovic muttered a grunt of acknowledgement, and a few others offered unenthusiastic greetings in response. Among the men, Siddiqui Blur wasn't particularly popular. Apparently, some of the guys actually found her attractive, but Smite was indifferent to the aspect of her. Fact was, the spice had more or less switched off that part of his mind, at least for the moment, and he was grateful. In a place like this, he decided, the fewer distractions, the better. I'm sure you're all wondering why you're here, Siddiqui said, so I won't waste your time. She turned and faced the droid. 3D, is my call patch through? Yes, Warden. Okay, go ahead. She gestured to the group of guards gathered on the far side of the room. If you men wouldn't mind stepping to either side, I have a feeling we're going to need all of the space we can get. As they shuffled out of the way, leaving an entire corner clear, the droid's holoprojector flickered to life. For a moment, Smite wasn't sure whether what he was seeing was real or a side effect of the stim. 8 meters in front of him, the mountainous shape of his employer had already come into focus to fill the entire corner of the ready room. Smite gaped at Jabba Distilic Tyr, shifted his enormous-sized tail, gazing out at the audience that waited him. Hello, Jabba, Siddiqui said. I appreciate you making time in your busy schedule for me. Siddiqui Blur, came the crime lord's mouth, open just enough for him to run his tongue along his upper lip with a lascivious sneer. You know, if you ever get tired of running that prison, I would be happy to make you one of my slave girls. Such a generous offer. She remained absolutely composed, even congenial. Unfortunately, I'll have to decline for now. To what do I own the honor? Ah, well, Siddiqui gestured at the guards, who had come to abrupt attention behind her, including Smite himself. I believe I have some of your people here. And thus concludes our reading for tonight. Karen Carlisle? I don't know who that is, but it is not me. My name is definitely not Karen. But thank you. But yeah, so there were 4 chapters. I'm cooler? Probably not. 20 years ago, I was still a teenager. And my name still wasn't Karen. I get that a lot, though. Like, people will be like, are you? And I'm like, no. The weirdest one was my first week at work when I started at one of my companies. The guy in the mailroom asked me if I used to be a dancer in Portsmouth. That was weird. I think I was like 24. Yeah. That was weird. That was a weird. Why would you even ask that question? Like, I don't know. So anyway, that was our reading for tonight. If you want to read more Star Wars books with me, follow along. I think I am gonna go to bed because it is nearly 11:30 for me, and yeah. So if you're new here, by the way, if I'm gonna go live, it's around 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So 9 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Mountain, and 7 p.m. Pacific. And I don't know what the other times are. So if you live out of the country, I got no clue. So it is bedtime for me because I have to get up and take my children places in the morning. So, if I am online tomorrow, I will try and also stream the gaming on the TikTokeries. I'm just not sure how that works. So, I've never set up TikTok Live Studio to stream my gaming, but I could try. So yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys have a good night. I hope you have a good day tomorrow. And yeah. Have a good night. Mwah! And to all of you guys on the Play Button app, I love you guys too. And the Purple app. And I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's reading. And I will definitely see you guys tomorrow, whether it's bedtime stories or it's gaming and Phasmophobia. I don't know.